When you're playing a zombie mode, you sometimes think to yourself, surely I won't be the host, right? You were so sure when you were human, but the truth is that you're a zombie harboring a virus. The moment the virus takes over, you instinctively infect other humans. But where did this zombie virus come from, and why does it exist? There was a laboratory where an obsessed researcher worked day and night on his theories. His name was Dr. Rex, a leading authority on biomechanical engineering and director of the lab itself. It all started with the escalating conflict between terrorists who fought against wealth inequality and counter-terrorists who resisted their efforts. In an effort to reduce military expenditures, the United States launched the Super Soldier Project, an attempt to create an entity beyond human limits, capable of wiping out the terrorists. But despite his fevered efforts, Dr. Rex ended up falling short of expectations. When all seemed lost, an anonymous letter reached Dr. Rex. It included a report of a walking corpse in Europe. The report, complete with location details, left Dr. Rex blinded by possibilities and with no reason to wait. He immediately dispatched a team of researchers to the town of Hergen to investigate the town and obtain specimens for his study. In the early 20th century, rumors began to circulate around an abandoned warehouse where a secret religious group was said to worship witches and fire. Local leaders took advantage of this rumor to ruthlessly hunt and slaughter the heretics for their own prestige and power. Seemingly out of resentment for the living, the slaughtered corpses released a foul odor containing an unknown virus, which used the bodies of the dead, their hosts, to spread, attacking and multiplying to create new hosts. That's why the European Union ultimately sealed off the area and kept it under strict control. Well, there was a reason for that resentment. Regardless of right and wrong, Dr. Rex's team managed to sneak the virus away. Dr. Rex created a secret research facility, Sector B1, to continue his work. Jennifer, a journalist who had gone undercover to investigate the lab, discovered the terrible secret hidden there. This triggered Dr. Rex's true madness. He captured Jennifer, a civilian, and used her as his test subject. After countless experiments on living subjects, Dr. Rex created the Rex virus, named in honor of himself. He believed he had created super soldiers, but the virus had a deadly side effect. The test subjects would gradually lose their minds and attack the researchers around them. Their behavior was quite similar to the zombies the anonymous source has described. Soldiers who don't follow orders were useless. Dr. Rex admitted his failure and decided to quarantine his remaining test subjects in Sector B1. There were groups that tried to stop this unethical super soldier project, such as the AFC, a terrorist group operating in the United States. They murdered the researchers and destroyed the facility, and fought with counter-terrorist agents who were sent to retake the lab. Their escape was blocked. The AFC decided to go down together, so they planted C4 inside the lab and blew it up. But little did anyone know that this was only the beginning of their hellish nightmare. The explosion sent dozens of people into the ruins of Sector B1 and escalated a tense situation between two opposing organizations in a tight space. That's when they heard a bizarre scream, one that could be human or animal. It was the test subjects, the people who were imprisoned for experiments. As the soldiers began to rescue them, they noticed something strange. It was the figure of a man standing tall, yet with a grievous wound that no one could survive. They realized in hindsight that it was a zombie, a failed result of a super soldier project. Smelling something living, the zombie attacked the crew through the open door, driving the remaining survivors on a desperate escape. Meanwhile, outside the lab, the backup team received a distress signal and attempted to enter Sector C5, the clearest route to access Sector B1, as it was mostly undamaged from the explosions. However, the situation collapsed rapidly. The further they went, the more infected their comrades became. Just when they were close to annihilation, an explosion turned the tide. It was the super soldiers, survivors of the virus experiment. It was a discovery that would shock the world, but due to the unethical nature of the experiments, all information was covered up. So what happened to the man responsible for all of this? Dr. Rex? The search for Dr. Rex was neglected, as it was deemed a waste of time to look for the old broken man who had been stripped of all of his powers. After the failure of his first super soldier project, Dr. Rex became even more obsessed with his research and lost his mind. He had never experienced such failure before and was unable to accept reality. When the terrorist attack destroyed his lab and cut off his government funding, he was forced to continue his research by supplying his own test subjects in an abandoned factory in a remote city. A military company learned about Dr. Rex and showed interest in his work. The company promised to support Dr. Rex's research if he could complete the super soldier project. Naturally, Dr. Rex accepted the offer. Meanwhile, after the bombing, some of the test subjects escaped from the lab and spread the virus to the water and sewer pipes of the city. The government continued blocking all information, so they dismissed it as a simple epidemic. The factories started running again, alongside rumors of mysterious disappearances and walking corpses. The government went on a hunt and discovered that one of the shuttered factories was producing zombies, so it quarantined the entire city. The virus spread like wildfire, dooming the once prosperous metropolis and earning it the name the Lost City. The government sent a surveillance force to investigate the quarantined city, but soon lost contact. The Anti-Terrorist Alliance declared war on the zombies and mobilized its troops. With the zombie outbreak showing no signs of slowing, the Anti-Terrorist Alliance established the Aegis Institute to research zombies and develop specialized anti-zombie weapons. The Aegis Institute was a group of top scientists from all around the world who worked not only to create weapons for the zombie extermination force, but also to find a cure for the zombie virus. Later, a scout team was sent to the factory to find out what happened to the missing surveillance force. During the search, they found evidence of new research being conducted at the factory. Just as they were about to report their findings, all communications were cut off, and they were trapped inside the lab, facing a new form of infection they had never seen before. After a fierce battle, they managed to take out the incoming zombies, cut off all power to the lab, and blew up the factory. With the factory destroyed, they thought the job was done, but the reports of a growing zombie population and the loss of contact with several outposts prompted them to send Andre's scout troops to search for survivors, which marks the end of Season 1 of the zombie scenario. For more exciting zombie scenario stories to come, be sure to subscribe to our channel.